the big thing for you to think about and note is that solicitors do not give you tax advice. Do we have any lawyers in the house by any chance? Former lawyers? Helen, you a solicitor? What do you specialize in?
Probate.
Most solicitors that I've come across, with the exception of Helen, no, you're not. But you don't help people buy and sell property, so you're not a conveyancer.
If the property is in the estate, we'll sell.
Yeah, that's fine. So yeah, so I'm talking about lawyers who help people buy and sell properties. You don't do that. You just deal with people once they're dead and sort their estate out. Basically, that's what you do, don't you? For anybody who doesn't know. So most solicitors will state in their terms of engagement, okay, that they do not give you tax advice. It's your job to go away and get tax advice. The only problem you've got is they want to file, and they will insist on this, by the way, they want to file your stamp duty land tax return. So they'll calculate the numbers for you and file the return. And without having a dig at lawyers, the amount of times we've fixed their problems, I've lost count. Okay, so it's better for you to seek that advice up front from a tax expert and then give it to your solicitor and say, here you go, can you file this particular return? I'll give you an example. It's the first one there. So we had an individual who was buying a piece of land, I think it was 1.26 million pounds, well, we'll call it 1.25, with a house on it. So and she owns other property. So if somebody buys a piece of land with planning and a house on it, are they going to pay the additional 3%? Yes. They are. Okay. If that individual pays the vendor, the person who owns the property, says, I'll pay you to demolish the property, okay, would they have to pay the additional 3%? No. They would. They would. Yeah, so if I pay them, okay, because the minute I make that payment, okay, that becomes the effective date for stamp duty land tax. Okay, so when you pay 90% or more of the proceeds, okay, or you get some form of benefit, performance of duties, I think it's called, then that becomes the effective date for stamp duty land tax. However, if we structure it in a way where we don't pay the landlord, it's part of the deal, and he or she knocks the property down, do we then pay the additional 3% or no?
1%.
No. No. Because once the property's been, so you're thinking about something, you're thinking about multiple dwellings relief. This is land with planning and a house. The house has now been knocked down by the owner. We're now buying land with planning permission. So we're not buying residential property anymore. So we're going to pay non-residential rates. Yeah? So we were able to structure the deal in a particular way where the landlord knocked down the house. And the SDLT on 1.25 million, I think, was 125,000 or thereabouts. I don't know the exact number. It was just over 100,000 pounds. Once the house was knocked down, her stamp duty land tax came down to 55,000. So she saved, I think, best part of 55 to 60 grand. Yeah? That's just an example for you. Her solicitor was saying, can't be done, can't do it. So what we had to do basically was give them a letter of advice saying, this is how the deal has been structured, okay, based on this is what needs to go on the return, and they said, that's fine. Why do you think they accepted our letter of advice? Sorry? Yeah, that's right. They just want to shift the PR to somebody else, so if there's a claim now, they don't want to claim on their head, then they'll pass it over. Simple as that, okay? So that's the first example for you there. SDLT, uninhabitable, like I said, we've just done Andrews, and he got his money back, I think, earlier this week or last week?
Last week.
Yeah, last week, and then we're working on 4 others at the same time.